Alright guys, welcome back. So I'm going to be showing you guys the Dino Dogmatika deck that I've been playing these past few weeks. I'm a huge fan of it. Ever since I got picked up the Dogmatika engine, I just been trying to just incorporate it into any possible deck I possibly could that I play in real life. Because it's such a good engine. Like if your deck can make a Linkuriboh, Almirage, and you can play the Dogmatika engine. It's huge. It's insane. It's just what it gives you a conservative play, which is what Dinos don't really have. That it's just basically build a board, and then boom, 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 boom. That's all it is. Make Doka, Yugioh, Conductor. It's really aggressive. But the Dogmatika just lets you pull back a little bit, especially when you get Landseed, which is huge. It lets you have a conservative play where you can go, okay, I'll just hold you off with a punishment, because punishment is still pretty strong. It's an interaction that's not really, I guess, considered when you think of Dinos, right? People have tried it before, but it's not more so like something you see like quite often, which is something I really enjoy, right? Oh, this is a weird play. This is a. I was like, what the heck? What the heck's he playing? He's playing freaking they can be one. I was like, how do I out this? Like before I played this Dino deck, Dinos in general, I never liked this. I never liked Lost World and the babies. Like a few years back, I was playing the Dark Dino build where it was really emphasizing on the dark aspect, like the Armageddonite, Dark Refer, and then the Strudo, and that gives you the Yazi play, and it gives you a Mare play. And because I was considered the babies as bricks, but then once Archosaurus came out, I was like, oh, that's not bad at all. Like it just makes Misk even better, and it just lets you have multiple ways to pop the diagram. I mean the babies, like diagrams in a sense. Right here I messed up. I should have saved the Conductor. I don't know what I was thinking, but like, because I was like, oh, I can't special anymore. It's like, oh well, yeah, that was a little misplay of that. It was my fault, without a doubt. I don't know what this guy's doing though. Look at this. I can just run over the window right here, which is huge. Attack. But going back to the deck itself, I like it. It lets you be a bit clever, whereas Dinos are really predictable, right? Okay, OV, Surge, or Dom, Misk, Banish to pop. It's very predictable, but like the fact that you can have the little mystery factor of the Dogmatika cards is insane. The Tri-Brigade, if they don't have a good enough hand to make the Appaloosa before the Samorg Link, it can be kind of underwhelming. Like, what do you like? Isn't they listen to the video? Like if they don't have the trap card, they don't main it, which I think it should be more explored. Like make the Harpies guy and have the trap in hand, which is huge. It's like a calamity. It's insane. You just use it from your hand because you control a Harpy. And I thought that was really cool because the fact that it just needs 2 wing beasts or wing beasts, right? I can't remember. I can't recall what materials are needed for the Harpy deck, for the Harpy Link. But I think that's like should be priority. And of course, there are those unfortunate scenarios where you just don't open up enough resources to make the Appaloosa and then make the Samorg Link, and that's something I've noticed. Like if you can open up like an Imperm or a Gamma or something to sequence your Nibiru with, then you might lose because it's just gonna summon the bear. Especially if your deck is like a combo deck, like you have trouble dealing with the bear statue. It can be a bit problematic, but if you can open up Nibiru and something else, it's just insane because you just go, okay, I'll go before the end of main phase 1, you just go Nibiru, the chain Appaloosa, then you chain Gamma or Ogre or Veiler or Imperm, and it's over because you just tribute everything, and then odds are you're gonna just pop off the following turn. Which is what I noticed about this deck. Like if oh my god, this is crazy. Double torrential. I was like, what the heck am I doing? I mean, the good thing about this is just that it gives you so much. Look at that. Just like pure Dinos wouldn't be able to do this. Like that's just insane. Like the fact that you can do that is just crazy. Like you have punishment as like you don't have to use Conductor. Like look at that. that's just oh my god, just the of course there's gonna be those inconsistencies that you just can't avoid, which is just inherently part of the deck, right? Like any Dino deck, like whether it be 40 card build or more a cookie cutter build where it's very ratio, like you minimize it to the exact percentage, right? But those variance hands or those unfortunate hands are just gonna be there, like regardless. No, of course, like you could argue the fact that you increase the chances by adding more bricks, but like all those cards are inherently part of the strategy anyways. So like if you open up like double baby, that's still gonna have the, like, you know, like it just I don't know, the argument behind that I guess issue is just very subjective, because it all depends on what your opponent had and if that particular hand can get you by, you know, because like compared to breaking and your opponent breaking, of course it gives you a chance to like grind, right? But like if your opponent open up good and you break, then of course it's a break hand. But like, you know, do you get what I mean? It just makes it to where the outcome can can vary. Look at this. Oh, this is crazy. Oh my god, the nightmare package is just so cool. Look at that, Dogmatika. I think I did I banish floor? I think I could have gone for game. Pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I could have gone for game. Yeah, I should have gone for a game. But I just want to show, I guess, the consistencies, the consistency of the deck, because it can be a bit daunting. Because you're like, oh, what the hell, 60 cards? Like, you can cut this down easily. Like, play 2 baby, 1 petite. Like, no, but it defeats the purpose of what the intention of the deck is, right? Because you want to, because if you increase the card count, right, you're gonna need to facilitate certain cards to function with each other, right? So, like, if you think about it. If you open up Nadir Servant, that's basically a diagram because it pops the baby, right? And at a worst case scenario, it gives you the boss monster that your deck is meant to be having. Look at this Nibiru against, look at that. That's just crazy. Oh my god, like, I don't see why he didn't get, I mean, regardless, his Mecha Ball is gonna get baited anyway, so it doesn't matter. Like, I guess I'm not sure what he was conserving his resources for. I wasn't sure, because like when I went in to pop his guy, his Mecha Ball, he just didn't negate it. But like the beer was there regardless, so I don't think it mattered. But yeah, I'll give more I guess explanation when I show you the deck profile, because I can actually see the physical cards and actually point them out, you know. And so those can be kind of I mean, there's not that much of a problem. This was an issue. I was like, how the heck am I gonna beat this? I can't use one of like, how am I gonna beat this? I was kind of scared. I was like, well, okay, well, this is a pretty strong board. I only have 1 effect. I only have 1 special summon. I can use no spells. And on top of that, he has a Dragoons. I was like, okay, well, let's start chipping away with the punishment, right? Antis popped the thing, he negates it because he's like, okay, well, I mean, that was smart, right? Because like, why would you open up the spells for me? Like, you'd rather just me not play with any spells. So then I go ahead and I top deck the 1-up. I was like, oh my god, and then I chain. Yeah, that was a mistake on his part. He should have done it in damage steps. I wouldn't be able to chain, because this is just what allows me to just gradually establish some sort of setup, right? So then he goes effect, tries to pop, and I just so I can prevent damage, right? So I can live for the following turn. Because then I draw. What do I draw? Come here. I get a pill. He negates pill. His discards summon limit. I'm like, okay, it's fine. And I have another pill, and I was like, okay, at this point, it should be fine. It should be good. Okay. I was like, well, because what's he gonna do? Like, what could he possibly do? Oh, and then the end phase, the baby's gonna pop itself. And I mean, Overwrough's gonna search. Like, I was like, what the? That was insane. I didn't think I was gonna win this game. And then I'm like, a pass turn. And what can he top deck? And he top decks this card. I was like, oh my god, are you kidding me? Even if he app clone my guy, one thing he could have done is like force the misc, so he can banish the misc with the aerial. But I guess he didn't think that far ahead. And then we go I kept thinking of ways to like, because I've tried to cut it down as well, like, but it's just that I think it's more of a paranoia type of thing when you go to ratios that, of course, there's some merit to it. There's some, of course, like it makes sense, right? Like it gives you like a guideline to abide by, so you can know, okay, well, these are the odds of this happening, the percentage of this. It gives you like a blueprint, or basically like a guide to follow, to be like, okay, well, to give you a peace of mind that this is meant to be happening so and so many times, and odds are with you, odds are against you, of course. But I'm not too fussed about it. If everything in the deck makes sense, if everything has synergy with itself within the entire deck, then it should be fine if you go above a certain amount of main deck card count, right? Because it's doing what it's intended to do, right? That's the whole purpose of a consistent deck. If the cards are consistent, right? For example, like if it's like a deck that cannot afford to do that, then of course you wouldn't apply that same theory, the same logic. Like if, for example, like Sky Striker is the perfect example. Like you want to see Ray, so why would you increase the card count in that deck? You know, it just doesn't make sense. So that's what I mean. Some decks can do it, some decks that can't. But like the deck that I've played, like Salad or Altergeist or like Dino or any like Synchro deck, I've applied the same logic, the same theory, that if it makes sense, if it has synergy, if the cards have if the cards added don't add any inconsistencies, then it should be fine. Like it should be fine. Like there's no way it shouldn't be, right? Because that's logical sense. Of course, once you start getting to the percentages and like getting like, okay, this is likely to happen and this is not likely to happen, then of course you start entering the paranoia phase, right? Because like I don't think you play enough games to have that oh, I was playing around the Ash. Like I think I had Petite hand, but this plays around Ash, and at least gives me an effect negator and a pop, like guaranteed. Whereas the other boy, I just lose because I wouldn't have any other play. I wouldn't have a Doka. I would just lose to Ash hard. That's the conservative play. Something that a lot of Dinos players don't think of doing. They just want to go aggro, and sometimes it works out, but most of the time it just doesn't. And he ends up breaking my board. I was like, and then he's like, "You fool!" I was like, "What do you mean?" Just getting bearded, man. He thought he had it because you got the reborn in my pank. I was like, okay, it's fair. Look at that. Just take control of the tribe. It's playing a lot of Invoked, a lot of Tri Brigade. Okay, so here's the deck list. I ended up using and winning an AusYGO tournament on online with this particular build. The only difference was before that tournament, I was playing Bells. I was main decking Bells, but then I felt like Nibiru was way more impactful versus Virtual World. Because there's some instances where they just don't open up like as great as they typically would. So if you ash a particular Virtual World and then you say then they try to go for the VFD or the Calamities, then you just Nibiru them, and then they just lose, because odds are the only reason that's the hardest matchup is because Calamities. That's the only reason that's the hardest matchup, Calamities. Apart from that, it's fine. So that's why I picked Nibiru, because like there's times where you could like bell the Lao or bell the Cloud Castle, but I felt like Nibiru was just better in the aspect of dealing with Calamities, because like if you go Ash Gamma on 2 Virtual Worlds, and then you have this, and then you open up any of your like consistencies, right? Whether it be traps or you have an aggressive like play with Ovi and Lost World, or you open up Ecclesia, it turns the game into like a grind matchup where it's like, okay, well, gradually just who can generate the more resources. Whereas there's so many good top decks in this deck, which is insane. And that's what I really liked about that, right? Because like you open up aggressive with a Dino package, and then you start seeing your Dogmatika engine, and then you start gradually just taking control of the game and then tempo that way. Or you open up vice versa, where you open up the traps and the Dogmatika package, and then slowly control the game that way, and then you just boom, you just push with the aggressiveness of what Dinos are meant to be doing, right? And I just enjoyed that the whole strategy, how they function together, which is pretty cool. 'Cause like I said, if your deck can make an Almirage or a Link Rebo, you can play the Dogmatika package, which is what you do. You just go summon the babies, make Almirage into this, and then you can go special Ecclesia and so on and so on. Right? It's just really good. I really like that. Of course, it doesn't go without saying that like dinos themselves have inconsistency issues, but that's what you kind of want to I guess address by increasing the card count, right? Because like you do not want to see multiple babies in one hand, so like the odds of you opening multiple babies in one hand are not too likely, because there'll be like the dinos in between, right? And they'll have like interactions in between, so that's not gonna happen. But if it doesn't happen, then that's just unfortunate. But there's so many ways to pop it. Like yeah, the Throne of the Year, the Torrential Tribute, the Lost World. Like some of the cool things you can do is because some activate Lost World, summon baby, give them a token, set torrential, this, and then on their shit, if they don't like link away the token or use it somehow, you just torrential them and you trigger baby and the token field protection, which is insane. Like this is crazy. Like yeah, it's just really cool. But this is basically my take on Dinos. Well, I like, this is my comfort level. I'm not really too fussed about going over 40 because like if it makes sense, it shouldn't be inconsistent. It shouldn't. Like if it makes sense, it all should work out. But of course, there's just the paranoia of just getting to the point, getting to the percentages, getting to the probability. I guess outlook of what you're meant to be doing, right? But nonetheless, it's super fun. Go ahead and try it out. I'll put the deck list download in the description so you can try it out. And then I'm still gonna be working on all these other sinker decks that I've been trying to make viable, even if it's a decent chance, right? But yeah, hopefully enjoy the video. Let's subscribe if you haven't, and thanks for watching.